We want to start off with some breaking news. A heads up to anyone who is traveling eastbound on I-70. I-70 eastbound closed at Silverthorne right now. US 6 Loveland Pass also closed, and taking a live look into the high country, you can see why. We knew that the storm was going to be really packing a punch when it comes to the amount of snow the high country was going to get. So these closures are just coming in the last 10 minutes or so. The few people that are on the road taking it really slow because visibility is very poor, and we can imagine that the roads are very slick as well. So if you are planning to go out that way, please make sure that you're planning ahead and paying very close attention to the road conditions.
That's a live look at the Johnson Eisenhower Tunnel right now. You can see that no traffic is moving eastbound, and we can just see now in the last couple of seconds there that westbound traffic is also being stopped at the tunnel, as you see cars slowing down there right now. Again, like Anusha said, Loveland Pass also closed. So if you're heading up to the high country today, prepare for a bit of a mess. Good morning. Thanks so much for spending part of your weekend with us. I'm Mark Salinger.
And I'm Anusha Roy. We've got Corey Reppenhagen with us as well. And from last night, Corey, with those thunderstorms that were waking people up in the night, to more rain, more snow today, it's kind of a gnarly weekend.
Yeah, those thunderstorms last night were just kind of an appetizer. And then we have this all-day rain and snow event. We're looking at 1 to 3 inches of precipitation along the Front Range, and that's going to result in 1 to 3 feet of snow up in the higher elevation. So those mountain passes will continue to be rough. Now take a look at the current temperature out here at Denver International Airport, still sitting at 40 degrees. So that's way too warm to actually flip over to snow. And if we do, and we may still flip over to snow, we won't get any accumulation here in the Denver area out of this. But look at this radar picture, all this moisture streaming up from the south. If you're getting a little bit of a break right now, it will dissipate as you go through time, and you'll get another wave of heavier showers. Up here to the northern Front Range, they've had a little bit of a slower start. They got hit by some pretty heavy rain last night, but a slower start this morning. But you can see that wave of really heavy rain starting to creep up towards the north, so you will get it. And then here in the Denver metro area, we're looking at complete rain out all the way through the entire day.
New overnight, one person is dead after a multi-car crash in Aurora. Aurora police say it happened near the intersection of Airport Boulevard and East 22nd Avenue. It's about a mile north of Colfax. 4 cars were involved. Aurora police says another person was also taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
We are continuing to follow the protest on the Auraria campus this morning, and now we're learning that events on campus are being canceled today. That is the word from organizers for a festival that was supposed to be celebrating women in the food and hospital industry. Students here have now joined that growing movement across the country protesting the war in Gaza and asking universities like CU Denver to divest interest in Israel. More than 100 police officers showed up in riot gear on the Auraria campus. Dozens of people were arrested. You're taking a look at what it looked like yesterday. Officers told protesters they had 10 minutes to leave or they'd be arrested. Around 7:30 last night, Denver's mayor showed up and told them the same thing: take your tents down or get arrested. Some people moved, others did not.
As far as what I'm willing to do, I'm willing to put my body on the line in order to make that point and hopefully have our people listen, the people that are in power, because they're not listening to us right now. And so, I'm willing to get arrested. I'm willing to get beaten by police.
40 people were arrested at last check. Some lawmakers are also asking for immediate and unconditional immunity. We are checking to see what the plan is for today as well.
We now have 2 major updates in 2 separate cases involving first responders who were accused of killing young men in our community. In Aurora, the paramedic who injected Elijah McLean with ketamine will avoid prison time. But we start in Clear Creek County, where a jury could not come to a consensus on whether a sheriff's deputy was guilty of killing Christian Glass. 9 News has learned the jury was 11-1 in favor of convicting former Clear Creek County Deputy Andrew Bune in the deadly shooting for second-degree murder. Because that one juror chose not to convict Bune for murder, the jury could not reach a verdict. That information is coming from an attorney representing the Glass family. Bune was convicted on a lesser charge of reckless endangerment. Prosecutors said Glass was having a mental health crisis that night in June of 2022 when he got in his car and called 911 for help. Several officers engaged with Glass for more than an hour, unable to get him out of the car. Ultimately, former Deputy Bune broke the window, tased Glass, and then shot him 5 times.
I wasn't prepared for it. I just kind of thought it would be guilty or not guilty. So I have to say I was absolutely not prepared for a hung jury on 2 of the charges.
That was Christian Glass's mother, Sally, there that you heard from, devastated by the lack of a verdict. The Clear Creek District Attorney says she's not sure yet if her office will retry the case.
The final criminal case has come to a close for the death of Elijah McLean, and the last paramedic convicted is not going to prison. Jeremy Cooper is the paramedic who injected Elijah McLean with ketamine in 2019. This was after someone called 911 reporting a suspicious person. Police stopped McLean and put him in a carotid hold before McLean was injected with ketamine. McLean had done nothing wrong. Cooper had 10 people speaking on his behalf before he talked himself. He started his statement by addressing Elijah directly, at which point Elijah's mom, Shanine, and a few others left the room. She did not listen to the rest of his pleas to the judge before re-entering the courtroom to provide her impact statement. She called Cooper a bully with a badge and said her son was failed by paramedics who should not have been at the scene at all. A judge ultimately sentenced Cooper to 14 months of work release. He was found guilty of criminally negligent homicide, which carries a sentence range from probation to up to 3 years in prison. Shanine walked out of the courthouse with her fist held high. She says she doesn't know what her next steps are right now, but that she is glad this phase is over.
Out of the 5 people indicted for McLean's death, a jury found 2 of the paramedics and 1 of the officers guilty. In March, a judge sentenced Cooper's former supervisor, Peter Chikuniak, to 5 years in prison. That's because he was also found guilty of second-degree assault for unlawful administration of drugs, as well as criminally negligent homicide. Cooper was only found guilty of criminally negligent homicide, which is why the sentencing range was different. Former President Donald Trump was back in court on Friday for his 8th day in the criminal hush money trial. The trial centers on a potential sex scandal cover-up right before the 2016 presidential election. The defense Friday finished its cross-examination of the first witness, tabloid-kin David Pecker. Pecker acknowledged running negative articles about other candidates, including Hillary Clinton and Ben Carson, because it was good for his business. Pecker also admitted to trying to help Trump by burying embarrassing stories about him. Trump has pleaded not guilty and has denied having an affair with adult film star Stormy Daniels.
Friday, prosecutors called Trump's former longtime assistant Ronna Graff to the stand. Graff said that she did recall seeing adult film star Stormy Daniels visiting Trump Tower before he ran for president. She says that she assumed Daniels was there to audition for The Apprentice. Graff also testified Trump never used email to communicate as far as she can remember.
The United States government is taking another step to try and mitigate the potential dangers of artificial intelligence. The Department of Homeland Security announced the AI Safety Panel on Friday. The Artificial Intelligence Safety and Security Board now includes 22 members. Leaders from big tech companies like OpenAI, Google, and Microsoft are on that list. The board also includes experts from hardware companies, critical infrastructure operators, local governments, and academia. According to the DHS, the collection of experts will make recommendations on how to protect the country's critical services from AI-based attacks.